Swadika.
Hey YouTube, Alex here, coming to you today from Pattaya, Thailand, and this is going to be a bit of a controversial one today. I want to answer the question, why do so many people hate expats? Number one reason is that some people hate expats because they are jealous. The same could be said about why people hate nomads. For a lot of people, they're watching after work, they don't get the respect they deserve at their job, maybe their family doesn't treat them well. They have all kinds of reasons to be unhappy, and they want to take it out on somebody that they perceive to be living the life. Unfortunately, they see your travels as somehow taking something away from them. They hate that the expat is able to go around the world, the nomad is able to go around the world, see beautiful places, spend time with beautiful women, have good food, have fresh air and a lot of sunshine that they may not be getting. And rather than trying to figure out how they could do it themselves, they just get jealous and angry. They take pot shots, they attack the expats or nomads' looks, whatever it may be, because that's easier than just taking the steps and investing the time and money to be able to pull the lifestyle off. Long-term travelers aren't exactly a group that elicits a lot of sympathy. Charlie Munger can be quoted as saying that he feels that a lot of people think that greed is the worst emotion, but he actually feels that jealousy is the worst emotion. And I think Charlie makes a great point with that quote. The number two reason that people hate expats is because there's a lot of terrible expats out there. For some expats, they see the fresh start as an opportunity to go and be nefarious and do bad things. They've got criminal records, they're notorious in their home country, they have a bad reputation that they want to get away from. This portion of this video could go on for hours and hours. By now, many of you are familiar with the expat that kicked the doctor in Phuket. Absolutely disgusting behavior on his part. When Thai people see that, it gives expats a bad name. My Thai friends are familiar with that case. It's disheartening to me. I think that anybody who is a guest in Thailand should treat the Thai people and Thailand in general with a great deal of respect and consideration. I've done my best to leave my baggage behind in the West, and I think all expats should be advised to do the same as best as they can. I'm sure if you Google expat arrested, it's going to provide you a lot of interesting, sad stories. There are expats with bad intentions, and some of these guys, they get the impression that they can come over here, do whatever they want, and there'll be no problem, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, we have plenty of examples of expats behaving badly and getting in trouble. Not gonna pick out one person or anything like that. They see this as their place to act up. Many will be sorely disappointed. These countries have their own laws and rules, and I suggest everybody research these before making the journey over to better understand expectations. Number three is that they project Western values on non-Western cultures. They think that if a person is from a Western country, then they should be bound by Western ethical standards for the rest of their life, regardless of where they live. And this is unreasonable. Now with the diversity in the West, there's people like myself who, while I grew up in the West, I don't really ascribe to Western values. Now some are good, but certainly not the totality of them. And more so not in their current iteration. Whatever values you believe in, I think that a lot of people are starting to see some cracks in the foundation of the West. A lot of these developing countries benefit heavily from tourism. You look at a country like Thailand, and I love Thailand, about 20% of Thailand's economy is tourism, so the country benefits greatly from tourism. If you've seen my vlogs, you see how beautiful Thailand is. It's an easy case to make to offer tourism here. It's such a beautiful country with friendly people, an admirable culture. I hope more and more people will be able to enjoy Thailand in the coming years. Number four is that they feel like expats are traitors. They would say that if you don't stay here and live in misery, then you are a traitor. If you don't stay here and pay high taxes, go with the flow, accept whatever it is that we say, then you're a traitor. They feel like if you use your passport, which all Americans, assuming they haven't violated certain laws, are entitled to own and purchase and utilize, in many countries provide visa-free access for US passport holders. We feel that crime is a problem. We don't even feel safe in our hometowns because of the chaos that has arisen. We've seen our hometowns change dramatically and become unaffordable, and we just want to maintain a middle-class standard of living that we used to have in our home countries that doesn't exist anymore. It's easy to call somebody traitor from a glass castle in the sky, from the mansion in the hills, but they're not actually seeing our day-to-day lives and our day-to-day reality that have gotten so bad that we don't have hope anymore for the future in our home countries, and we're going abroad to pursue a better life. So not a fair assessment. And the fifth and final point is that they are projecting their own insecurities on these expats and digital nomads. They see things getting worse. They're in a position where they can't leave. They have this crabs in a bucket mentality where if nobody leaves, if everything stays the same, if everybody stays in their place, then everything will just go back to the way it was. But you can't turn back time. I think it really starts to show a shadow on this idealism where as things get worse, they cling more and more to idealism and delusion. They don't want to acknowledge what all is going on. To acknowledge that the ideal is no longer working would be more painful than addressing the reality of the situation. I think as things get worse, people will cling more and more to that idealism because it's easier to cling to idealism than to take lasting action to address the problems. The changes would be potentially quite painful. They just don't want to take on the insecurity of what could I have done differently, if not to change things, to set myself up to leave. Now I know things have gotten really bad in the last few years especially, but it's really important to take the action you can. And if that means leaving your country, well, the majority of Americans can trace their heritage back to people who left their home countries. So unless you're Native American or you're descendant from slave populations, your ancestors came willingly. Now, they may have had some delusional beliefs, but they did not get taken against their will. Lack of social cohesion. Why is it that they get to go to a beautiful place with gorgeous beaches, nice people, friendly culture, warm and inviting atmosphere, low cost of living, and all of these wonderful things that make living overseas so enjoyable? So I hope this video has been helpful. This has been 5 reasons people hate expats. Let me know what you think down in the comments. This is just the tip of the iceberg. As one of my subs, Matt, says, I could go on for about 5 to 6 hours on this topic, and I'm going to make more content on this subject. Give us a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and we'll see you next time.